any instructions about how to solve problems is a code book. Any type of auto mechanics book, or any type of book about how to be a doctor or how to be a farmer, or how to do anything, to accomplish anything. If you go about some procedures for getting it done, that's considered to be a code. So when it comes to the race problem, all books, either directly or indirectly, about the race problem should be designed, or the author should have in mind, certainly I had it in mind, to try to come up with solutions to what is considered to be a problem. All books that how-to-do books are considered to be code books, you might say, for how to solve problems. So I tried to write one, simply starting off with my intention was to just give myself some direction, starting with myself. What do I do? How do I handle certain situations on a daily basis? So I wrote the first 6 pages for myself, and that was the beginning of what I later called a code of behavior and trial and error. And I did a lot of crossings out, things that I tried that didn't work very well, and I had to make adjustments, and that 6 pages turned out to be 13 pages, and then it ballooned up to something like 30 pages, and then it came to around 1,300 pages when I finally decided I was going to distill it into the 1984 version of it. Before then, it was just a whole bunch of scattered papers and notes, which is how I think some things come together. People, when they're trying to invent something or trying to solve a problem or try to deal with something, you just write notes to yourself, reminders. I mean, like going to the grocery store, you just jot down some notes because you say, the last time I went to the store, I forgot to get some onions, and I keep forgetting that. So you make a note to yourself. And so that is a code, really. I mean, because you're talking about how to solve a problem, and you're going to formalize it. And you're going to make sure that this time when you leave, you're not going to leave out the onions, because you kept going to the store, coming back. You never had the onions. You always left that. You're trying to make a mental note of it. You had a mental note in your mind of the other items. So you decided to just put that on the list. Make sure that the onions are on the list. So that list becomes a code. And so every time you go, you take out your list. Make sure that you don't walk out of the store without the onions again. And that's basically what the formula for the code was. And that is, how do you solve this thing called the race problem? And how does an individual do it on a daily basis? Because you're an individual. You're not with people all the time or around people who can speak up for you or do this or do that or tell you what to do. So if you don't have a person there to tell you what to do about anything, history has shown that people make notes, and a thing called writing was invented to remind the person, just like getting the onions, of what to do, what not to do, so that you don't get lost and you can handle something in an orchestrated way or a codified way, I might say. And it just means a way of getting things done. Getting things done. People always, getting out of the hand-wringing thing, always scratching your head, trying to, how do I do this? How do I go about handling this? And so if you think about it and then put something together where you trial and error it, you try this and see if it works, and try that and see if it works, and reject those things that don't work and keep those things that do work, and then you get in the habit of doing that. And if you keep it jotted down, because there's an old saying, the worst pencil in the world is better than the best memory. And this is why all down through history, people have tried to put things in books and on paper and whatnot, right on the side of a wall or something, as reminders, because your memory doesn't always serve you well. They have found that out by trial and error. So you codify things by writing them down. And so books like, Bibles and all that type of thing, handyman books, books on how to build a house, books on how to fix a car. You have to have that. You say, well, where's the book on this? I mean, where's, this model car? Well, where's the guidebook? Well, how do you start it? How do you repair it? What needs to be repaired? How do you maintain it? These are code books. And so a counter-racist code, which means a book that's designed to help you get rid of racism, is nothing but just a formalized way of going about doing things. Hopefully. The race problem has never been solved, but we have to put something down about how do you go about solving it if you intend to solve it. And I tried to address mine to the individual person.